Turn on the box. The dimmer pack. Turn on the...
Nickleby, who, rather late in life, took it into his head to get married.
And in due course, when Mrs. Nickleby had presented her husband with 2 sons, he found himself in a situation of distinctly shortened means.
Which were only believed when one fine morning there arrived a black-bordered letter informing him that his uncle was dead, leaving him the bulk of his property, amounting in £5,000.
And with a portion of this property, Mr. Godfrey Nickleby purchased a small farm near Dawlish.
And on his death, some 15 years later, he was able to give to his elder son £3,000 in cash, and to the younger, 1,000 and the farm.
The younger boy was of a timid and retiring disposition, keen only to attach himself to the quiet routines of country life.
The eldest son, however, resolved to make much use of his father's inheritance.
For young Ralph Nickleby had commenced usury on a limited scale, even at school, setting out at interest a small capital of slate, pencils, and marbles.
And had now in adulthood resolved to live his life by the simple motto that there was nothing in the world as good as money.
And while Ralph prospered in the mercantile way in London, the young brother lived still on the farm.
And took himself a wife,
who gave birth to a boy and a girl. And by the time they were both nearing the age of 20, he found his expenses much increased, and his capital still more depleted.
Speculate, his wife advised him.
Think of your brother, Mr. Nickleby, and speculate.
And Mr. Nickleby did speculate. But a mania prevailed.
A bubble burst.
4 stockbrokers took villa residences at Florence.
400 nobodies were ruined.
And one of them was
Mr. Nickleby.
And Mr. Nickleby took to his bed.
Apparently resolved to keep that and all of it.
Cheer up, sir, said the apothecary.
You mustn't let yourself be cast down, sir, said the nurse.
Such things happen every day, remarked the lawyer.
And it is very simple to rebel against them, whispered the clergyman.
And what no man with the family ought to do.
Added the neighbors.
But Mr. Nickleby shook his head, and he motioned them all out of the room.
And shortly afterwards, his reason went astray.
And he babbled about the goodness of his brother and the merry times they had at school.
And one day, he turned upon his face.
Observing that he thought that he could fall asleep.
And with no one in the world to help them but Ralph Nickleby,
The widow and her children.
Journey forth
To London!
Black water. Woman's hand is here in the corner.
Black wax, I know the hand too. Newman, I shouldn't be surprised if my brother was dead.
I don't think you would be.
Why not?
You never asked price at anything, that's all.
It's just as I thought, he's dead.
Children alive?
That's just the thing, they're both alive.
Oh.
And a widow too, and all 3 of them in London, damn 'em.
Terrible.
Go home. Bonnie, put me down for 500, would you?
Oh, nearly double in a 3 months, Mr. Nickleby.
And I'm sure of it.
And when they do, you'll know just what to do with them. Back quietly out at just the right time.
Indeed. I told you to go home.
I'm going.
What a remarkable man that clerk of yours is. Kept his own hounds and horses once, but squandered everything, borrowed at interest, and took to drinking. I'd done a little business with him as it happens. He came to me to borrow more. I needed to employ
Yes,
a clerk.
yes, so.
So then, 500, Bonnie. What are they? I've never even seen them. Damn 'em.
And so, Ralph Nickleby proceeded to the Strand,
And found a number on the house,
and stopped,
and gave a double knock.
and waited for an answer.
Ah, Nicholas, I suppose. How are you, sir? And Kate.
That is correct, sir. These are my... Oh,
Well, man, how are you? You must bear up against sorrow. I always do. You didn't mention how he died.
the doctors could attribute it to no particular disease. We have no reason to suspect that he died of a broken heart.
What's that?
I beg your pardon?
I don't understand. A broken leg or a head, I know of these, but not of a broken heart.
Some people, I believe, have none to break.
What's that? How old is this boy, ma'am?
19.
And what's he need to do for bread?
To earn it, sir, and not look for anyone to keep my family except myself.
I see. Well, the creditors have administered, and you say you spent what little was left coming all the way to London to see me.
Well, I had hoped. It was my husband's wish I should appeal to you.
I don't know why it is, but whenever a man dies with no property, he always feels he has the right to dispose of other people's. If my brother had acquainted himself with the world and then applied himself to make his way in it, he would not be in your situation.
Well, that may very well be true. I've often thought if he'd had listened to me, that may very well be true.
So what's your daughter fit for, ma'am?
Oh, Kate has been well educated, sir.
I'm willing to try anything that will give me home and bread.
And you, sir, you're prepared to work.
Yes, certainly.
And read this. Caught my eye this morning.
Education. The master of the academy, Duke Boys Hall, near Greta Bridge in Yorkshire, is in town and attends at the Saracen's Head Snowman. Able assistant wanted. Annual salary, £5. A master of arts would be preferred.
Well, there.
But he's not a master of arts.
That, I think, can be gotten over.
And the salary's so small, Uncle, and it's so far away.
Hush, Kate, your uncle must know this.
I'm sure he will have you if I recommend it. Ma'am, if he can find another job now in London which keeps him in shoe leather, I'll give him £100.
We must be separated then so soon.
Sir, if I am appointed to this post, what will become of those I leave behind?
If you're accepted and you take it, it'll be taken care of. That will be my charge.
Then, Uncle, I am ready to do anything you wish.
Good. God knows, you work well and you'll rise to be a partner. And then if he dies, your fortune's made.
Well, yes, to be sure. And Kate, who knows? Perhaps there might be some young nobleman or other at the school who takes a fancy. And then I'll become his traveling tutor when he leaves, yes? And when we get back from the continent, his father might procure me some handsome appointment in his household business. And he might even fall in love with Kate and marry her. Don't you think so, Uncle?
Yes, yes, indeed.
Uncle, we're a simple family. We were born and bred in the country, and we've never been apart. We are unacquainted with the world.
Well then.
It will take time for us to understand it, to apply ourselves, to make our way in it, and to bear that separation which necessity now forces on us. I'm sure you understand.
Yes, yes indeed. Now, sir, shall we go?
And so the uncle and his nephew took themselves with all convenient speed towards Snowhill and Mr. Waxman Squeers.
And in Snowhill, near to the jail in Smithfield, was the Saracen's Head. And outside the Saracen's Head stood 2 stone heads of Saracens. Oh, yes, McWhite, it is lovely. And inside on this January afternoon sat Mr. Squeers, whose appearance was not much more prepossessing.
He's only got one eye.
Well, the popular prejudice is in favour of 2.
Hello, sir. What's that, sir?
Nothing. The place, sir.
Nothing, sir.
Place, sir. I sneeze, sir.
Sneeze? The sneeze? That's not nothing, is it?
No, sir.
Wait till you talk to my young gentleman, and I'll give you something to remember.
Mr. Squeers is the gentleman who was asking for you.
Ah, show me, Mick, show me. Oh, dear child, why are you weeping? Oh, people have this child. What is yours? You're losing your friends, that is true. But you'll have a father in me, my dear, and a mother in Mrs. Squeers. At the delightful village of Dotheboys near Greta Bridge in Yorkshire, where you are boarded, clothed, booked, furnished with pocket money, and provided with all the necessaries, instructed in all languages, living and dead, mathematics, geometry, orthography, trigonometry, the use of the globes, algebra, single stick, if required, arithmetic, fortification, and all the branch of classical literature. Terms, 20 guineas per annum, no extras, no vacations, and a joy unparalleled. What is this, sir? I have no idea.
Mr. Squeers,
Let's say, sir.
my name is Snorley.
How do you do, sir? How do you do, young sir?
Mr. Squeers, I've been thinking of placing my 2 boys at your school.
I do not think you could do a better thing.
At £20 per annum.
Guineas.
Pounds for the 2 of them, perhaps. They're not great eaters.
And we will not be great feeders, sir. I do think we can reach an accommodation.
Sir, up to what age?
As long as payments regularly made.
I see.
Now then, are these boys legitimate?
They are.
They are.
Well, I'm not their father.
Ah, go on.
I'm the husband of their mother. And as it is so hard keeping young boys these days, she has so little money of her own which she'll only squander on them. They're here in a school, a great distance off, where there are none of those ill-judged coming homes 3 times a year that do unsettle the children so.
And payments regular and no questions asked.
I should want their morals particularly attended to.
Morals? You've come to the right place for morals, sir. I do not think we understand each other.
Mr. Squares.
Yes, what is it?
A matter of business. My name is Ralph Nickleby. Perhaps you recollect me.
Why, yes. Did you pay me a small account some years back on behalf of a boy named Dorker?
That's right, who died, unfortunately, in Yorkshire.
Why, yes, I remember well, and I remember how dear Mrs. Squares nursed the boy, tried toast and warm tea when he wouldn't swallow, and a candle in the bedroom on the night he died. And a dictionary to lay his head upon.
Yes, just so. You have advertised for an able assistant, and here he is. My nephew Nicholas, hot from school with everything he learnt there fermenting in his head, and nothing fermenting in his pocket. His father lies dead, he is wholly ignorant of the world, and he wishes to make his fortune.
I fear, sir, that you object to my youth and my not being a master of arts.
Well, the absence of a college degree is an objection.
Nicholas, you're employed.
Oh, sir!
Coach leaves at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And your fare is paid.
Thank you, Uncle. I will not forget this kindness.
See that you don't.
Second morning after Nicholas's departure, Kate found herself in Miss Nickeby's room, giving that lady a sitting for a portrait.
Well, I think I've caught it now, and it will be the sweetest portrait I've ever done. Certainly.
It will be your genius that makes it so, I'm sure.
Well, my dear, you are right in the main, though I don't allow it of such great importance in the present case. The difficulties about, my dear, are very great.
I've no doubt.
They are beyond anything you can form the faintest perception of. What with bringing out eyes and keeping down noses and adding to heads and taking away teeth altogether. You have no idea the trouble one little miniature can be.
The remuneration can scarcely repay you.
Oh, well, it does not, and that's the truth. And sitters are so dissatisfied and unreasonable that 9 times out of 10 there's no pleasure in painting them. Sometimes they say, how very serious you made me look, Miss Nickleby. And at others, oh, Miss Nickleby, how very smirking. And the very essence of a good portrait is that it must be serious. Or smirking, or it's no portrait at all.
Indeed, and which, dear Miss Nickleby, which am I? Oh.
And now, when do you expect to see your uncle?
Oh, well, I scarcely know. I thought to before now.
I suppose he has a lot of money, hasn't he?
I'm told he's very rich.
You may depend on it, or he wouldn't be so surly.
But he is a little rough.
A little rough compared to him, a porcupine's a feather bed.
Well, it's only his manner, I believe. I should be sorry to think ill of him, unless I knew he deserved it.
Well, that is very right and kind of you, but might he, without feeling it himself, make you and your mamma some nice little allowance? What would 100 per year, for instance, be to him?
Well, I don't know if it would be to him, but it would be unacceptable to me.
He is your uncle, dear.
From anyone, not him particularly, but anyone.
It's who?
Your servant, ladies.
Oh, Uncle.
Where's Mrs. Nickleby?
Hannah.
Is it my niece's portrait, ma'am?
Why, yes, and between you, me, and the poster, a very nice portrait, too, though I say it myself.
Don't bother showing it to me. I've no eye for likenesses. Is it nearly finished?
Why, yes, 2 more sittings.
Have them done at once. She'll have no time to idle over fooleries. Have you let your lodgings, ma'am?
Oh, no, I have not put up a billiard.
Then do so at once, for neither of them need your rooms, or if they do, can't afford to pay for them.
Oh, we're moving, Uncle. Where?
I've not yet decided where either of you will be placed yet.
Brother-in-law.
Madam, I've found a situation for your daughter.
Well, this is good news. But I will say it is only what I would have thought of you. Depend on it, I said to Kate only yesterday at breakfast that after your uncle has provided in the most ready manner for Nicholas, he will not leave us until he's done at least the same for you. Those were my very words as near as I can remember. Kate, why don't you thank your uncle for
Let me proceed, ma'am, pray.
Let your uncle proceed.
He should, Mamma.
Well, if you are, you had better allow your uncle to say what he has to say without interruptions.
An absence of business habits in this family apparently leads to a great waste of words before business is arrived at all.
Oh, I fear that's so. Your poor brother.
My brother, ma'am, had no idea what business was. The situation that I have made interest to procure for your daughter is that with a milliner and dressmaker in London.
A milliner?
Yes, and milliners in London, as I need not remind you, are persons of great wealth and stature.
Oh, that is very true. That is very true,
The
Kate.
lady's name is Madame Mantalini. She lives near Cavendish Square. If your daughter is disposed to try the situation, I'll take her there on Monday. Now I must go.
Kate, have you nothing you
Yes,
should say
but I
to
prefer to speak to him alone.
Now, Kate, I'm
Please,
sure.
I'll see you out, and then I'll go.
Then I'm your servant.
Uncle, I must ask one question of you. Am I to live at home?
At home? And where's that?
Well, me and my mother have some place that we can call home. It may be very humble, but...
Maybe. Must be humble.
Well, must be then. But still, my question, Uncle, you must answer it.
I had some idea of providing for your mother in a pleasant district of the country.
Outside of London?
Yes, I thought so. But if you're quite determined that you'd like to stay with her...
Yes, I am.
Yes, I thought you would be. I have a house. It's in the East End. Till it's rented, you can stay there. I'll send my clerk to take you on Saturday. So is that satisfactory?
Oh, yes, it is. I'm most grateful to you, dear Uncle. Most
Oh, please don't begin to cry.
I know it's very funny.
Yes, it is. I'm also affected, too. Let's have no more of it.
Smite, where the devil have you been?
Please, sir, I fell asleep, sir.
Fellow what?
Please, sir, I fell asleep over the fire.
Fire? Where's there a fire?
Please, sir, Mrs. said as I was sitting up on my feet by the fire for a while.
Your missus is a fool. Women do far more wait than by the cold.
Square!
My love? There's boys to bed.
Squares, my square.
One word, my love. Come in, Mr. Nickleby, come in. This is our new young man, my dear.
No, is it?
He can shake down here tonight, can't he?
Well, if it's not particular...
No, indeed.
That's lovely. Brandy, Squares.
Certainly, a glass of it. Told his father's short.
Nah, my poor big sister sent something.
That's good. Bray Marsh's maternal aunt has written with no money but 2 pairs of stockings and a tract.
Maternal aunt.
My love.
More likely in my view that she's Gray Marshall's maternal mother.
Yes, what's to do, boy?
Is there...
What?
There's nothing hurt?
No, and there never will be. It's a pretty sort of thing, is it not? That I should have kept you on for all these years, and no money paid after the first 6. No notice taken to who you belong to. It's a pretty sort of thing, isn't it? That I should have to feed a fellow like you, never to get 1 penny for it, isn't it?
The boy put his hand to his head, as if he were making some kind of effort to remember something, and then vacantly looking at his questioner, gradually broke into a smile.
That's right, now off with you and send the cow.
I tell you what, Squares. I think that young chap's turning silly.
I hope not, for he's a handy fellow outdoors, and what does meat drink anyways? Now I'm tired and wish you go to bed.
Oh, drat that thing!
What's the matter, my love?
The school's food. I can't find it.
Ah, never mind, my love.
What? Never mind. It's brimstone in the morning.
Yes, I forgot.
Excuse me.
We purify the boys' bloods now and then, Nickleby.
What? Purify.
Fiddlesticks!
Don't think, young man, that we go through the expense of flood of molasses and brimstone just to purify them. Because if you think we carry on in the business in that way, you'll find yourself mistaken. And so I'll tell you plainly.
My dear, should you...
Nonsense! If the young man comes to be a teacher,
Let him understand at once. But we don't want any foolery about the boys. It's brimstone tickle partly because if there hadn't something or other in the way of medicine, they'd always be ailing and causing a world of trouble. And partly because it spoils their appetites and comes cheaper than breakfast or dinner. And so it does them good and us good at the same time. And I'm sure that's fair enough. Now where is that spoon?
What is it? Round your neck.
Oh, don't you say something in the first place!
Sorry, Mum.
And so, dear Mr. Nickleby, good night.
Most valuable woman, Nickleby.
I'm sure of it, sir.
That woman, Nickleby, she's always the same. The same lively, bustling, active. Same creature that you see her now.
Yes, indeed, sir.
It is my custom to say that when I'm in London, she's like a mother to those boys. But no, she's more. She's 10 times more. She does things for those boys I don't think half the mothers go and do for their own sons. Good night, Mr. Nickleby.
Good night, sir.
My dear young man, you do not know me, but I know the world. Your father did not, or he would not have done me a kindness when there was no hope of return. You do not, or you would not be bound on such a journey. If ever you want a shelter in London, I would be happy to partially repay your father's kindnesses to me. They know where I live, at the sign of the Crown, in Silver Street, Golden Square. You can come at night. Once, nobody was ashamed. Never mind that. It's all over. I have forgotten my old ways. Excuse errors. My spelling may have gone with them.
Yours obediently, Newman Knox.
P.S. If ever you should go near Barnard Castle, there is a good ale at the King's Head. Say you know me. I am sure they will not charge you for it. You may say Mr. Knox said. For I was gentleman then. I was indeed.
First boy, Tompkins, 9, a cripple.
Second boy, Coates, 13, a Boston. Third boy, Jennings, 13, this figure.
Fourth boy, Bob, 11, St. Bolton. Fourth boy, Bob, St. Bolton.
Fifth boy, Johnny.
Johnny.
Called up 14 illegitimate.
Sixth boy, Peters, 7, fine.
Seventh boy, Sprouter, age 10. Me father killed me mother.
Yes.
Sent away.
Robert Arthur Snowley.
Number.
I'm 11.
Number is 8.
Eighth boy. Ninth boy, Snowley, age 6.
there's no aspect of their ever going home. It's a very delightful thing to think about for all parties. But I have had some disappointments to contend with. Like Boulder, for instance. Boulder's father was 2 pounds 10 short. Ah, Boulder, your father thinks that just because you're... what do you call this, sir?
What, sir?
What, sir?
What, sir?
What?
I can't help it, sir. It's all Philfect does. At least I don't know what it is, sir. It's not my fault.
Boulder, you're incorrigible, young scoundrel. Seeing to the last thrashing that you know. See what another one does for beating it out of you. Later. First, I'd like you all to meet my new assistant, Mr. Nickleby. Good morning, Mr. Nickleby.
Good morning, Mr. Nickleby.
Good morning. This is our first class in English, spelling and philosophy. We'll soon get up on Latin one, then hand that over to you. But first, where's Small Pace?
Please, sir.
Let any boy speak out of turn, or the skin off his back.
Please, sir. He's cleaning the back parlor windows, sir.
Ah, so he is, to be sure. We go on the practical mode of teaching here, Mr. Nickleby. C-L-A-A-N. Clean. A verb, active, to make right, to scour. W-I-N. Win.
Win.
D-E-R. Dare.
Dare. Win. Dare.
Okay. When a boy knows his other book, he goes and does it. Now go, clean every window, except for you, Boulder. Stay here. This is how we do it here, Mr. Nickleby.
Hello. Please, don't be frightened. Are you cold? You're shivering.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. My heart will break. It will. It will. I know it.
Nicholas opened his eyes at this, but he turned the matter off very coolly, not minding particularly about anything just then, and went through the ceremony of introduction to the miller's daughter with as much grace as he could muster. Yes, sir.
We are only waiting for one more gentleman.
And it was a matter of equal moment to Nicholas whether they were waiting for one gentleman or 20. And being out of spirits and not seeing any especial reason why he should make himself agreeable, looked out of the window and sighed.
Oh, Mr. Nickleby!
I'm sorry.
No, please don't apologize. Perhaps your languor is occasioned by my presence. But don't heed me. You may behave just as you would if the two of you were alone.
And here the two friends burst into a variety of giggles, glancing from time to time at Nicholas, who in a state of unmixed astonishment gradually fell into one of irrepressible amusement.
Oh, the bread and butter?
Oh, please, please.
Well, John,
Well,
I beg your pardon. Mr. Nickleby, Mr. John Brownie.
your servant, sir.
Yours took a man, sir.
Please, Mr. Brownie, please sit down.
Old woman gone away, be she, Fanny?
She has.
And schoolmaster as well.
Yes, yes.
And just the four of us.
That's right. Do have some bread and butter.
I won't get bread and butter every night, eh, man? In fact, I'll tell you, if thou stay here long enough, that ain't no but skin and bone. Hey, no but skin and bone, eh, Fanny? I tell you, man, last teacher had hair. When he turned sideways, couldn't tell where.
Sir, I don't know whether your perceptions are quite keen enough, but your remarks are highly offensive to me and to my employer. But if they are, sir, please have the goodness.
You say one more word, John. Only half of a word. I will never speak to you again.
Oh, well, I'll shut me mouth then.
Oh, Fanny, what's the matter?
Nothing.
There was never any danger of an altercation, now was there, Mr. Nickleby?
None at all.
Say something kind to her.
Why, what?
Or better yet, why don't John and I go off next door for a little while and leave the two of you alone?
Whatever for?
Whatever for? And her dressed up so nicely. Looking really almost handsome. Why, I'm ashamed of you.
My dear girl, what is it to me how she is dressed? Or how she looks? It's hardly my concern.
Don't call me a dear girl. Her father will be saying it's my fault. Come now, we'll play cards. Pig dear, bring in the cards.
And all of this was completely unintelligible to Nicholas, who had no other distinct impression than that Miss Squeers was an ordinary-looking girl, and her friend Miss Price a pretty one, and he had been called into a game of speculation.
So whose partner should who?
I'll partner you, Miss Price.
Oh, sir.
It would be my great pleasure.
Yeah, Mr. Brownie. And guess where to be partners?
Aye.
Oh, please do deal.
Miss Price?
Bid 3 on hearts.
Fanny? Nicholas never had such a run of the cards. We won!
Well, it's all you, Mr. Nickleby. I'm sure I should like to have you for a partner always.
Oh, well, I wish you had.
Though if you win at cards, you will have a bad wife, sure.
Oh, not if your wish is gratified, Miss Price. We have all the talking to ourselves.
Oh, but you do it so well, Mr. Nickleby. It would be an outrage to interrupt you, wouldn't it?
Well, damn it, I'm gonna take this, Mama. You'll get rid of a big down trooper, and everyone I can look sharp for a broken head next time he comes near me.
And he's burning in tears now. Oh, what can be the matter?
Oh, don't you bother, ma'am. Oh, don't you trouble to inquire.
Oh, well, you are monstrous polite, ma'am.
I won't come to you to take lessons in you, ma'am.
When you needn't take the trouble to make yourself any plainer than you are, ma'am, because it is quite unnecessary.
Well, I can thank God I'm the boldest of some people.
And I can thank God I haven't the envy of others. By wishing you a good night, ma'am, and may pleasant dreams attend your sleep.
I hate you.
This is one consequence, thought Nicholas, of my accursed readiness to adapt myself into any society into which chance carries me. If I had sat mute and motionless, as I might have done, none of this would have happened. What did I do? What did I do?
Oh, I swear there's nobody in the world more miserable than I.
Well, I can't help saying it, if you were to kill me for it, that I never saw anyone look so vulgar as Miss Price this night.
Oh, Pip, how you do talk.
I know it's wrong for me to say so, Miss Price being a friend of yours and all, but she does dress herself out so and goes on in such a manner just to get noticed. Well, if people only saw themselves.
Now, Pip, you mustn't talk like that.
She's so vain and so plain.
And I will hear no more of it. It's true Miss Price has her faults. Has many. But I do wish her well, and above all, I wish her married. And I find it desirable, most desirable, she be married as soon as possible.
Yes, miss.
Who's there? Come in.
Well, Fanny. Well, Fanny, you see, I've come to speak to you, even though we had bad words.
I bear no malice, Tilda. I am above it.
Please don't be cross, Fanny. I've come to tell you something.
What may that be, Tilda?
Well, Miss, after we left here, John and I had the most dreadful quarrel. But after a great deal of wrangling and saying we'd never speak again, well, we made it up. And John has promised that first thing tomorrow morning he will put our names down in the church. So I give you notice to get your bridesmaids from me now.
Oh, I'm so happy for you!
And at that very moment, Kate and Mrs. Nickleby arrived at their new home around the squalid slums of the East End of London. And nearby, a bone and some kennels of animals, past which they quickly walked.
And went inside.
Well, here it is.
I see.
It's not, of course. There are some bits of furniture and there's a fire made up. I'm sure, although it looks a little gloomy, it
I must say that I am sorry, truly and sincerely sorry, for having been the cause of any difference among you last night. I reproach myself most bitterly for having been so unfortunate as to cause the dissension that occurred. Although I did so, I assure you, unwittingly and heedlessly.
Well, that's not all you have to say, surely.
No. I fear that there is something more. It is a most awkward thing to say, as the very mention of such a supposition makes one look like a puppy. But still. Does this lady think I entertain a sort of... Does she think that does she think I'm in love with her?
Answer for me, Tilda!
Of course she does!
She does!
Of course!
And you may also say, dear Tilda, that if Mr. Nickleby ever doubted that, he may set his mind at rest. His feelings are complete!
Oh, stop!
Whatever for?
Wait here. Oh, this is the grossest and most wild that a human being ever labored under or committed. I have scarcely seen this young lady half a dozen times. But whether I had seen her 60 times or 60,000 times, it will be precisely the same. I have not one thought, hope, or wish connected with her, unless it be, and I say this not to hurt her feelings, but to impress her with the real state of my own, unless it be the one thing dear to my heart as life itself. To one day be able to leave this accursed place, to never set foot in it again, to think of it, even think of it, except with loathing and disgust. And with this particularly plain and straightforward declaration, Nicholas bowed slightly. And waiting to hear no more, retreated.
Oh, poor Fanny! Her anger, rage, and vexation are not to be described. Refused! Refused! By a teacher! Picked up by an advertisement at an annual salary of £5, payable at indefinite periods. And all of this, too, in the presence of a little chit of a miller's daughter of 18.
And it may be remarked that Miss Squeers was of the firm opinion that she was prepossessing and beautiful. And after all, her father was master, and Nicholas man. And her father had saved money, and Nicholas had none. All of her conclusive arguments, why the young man should only feel too honored by her preference, and too grateful for her deep affection.
Sir, I pity you and despise you.
Can't do it with the book. Can't do it with the book at all.
I know that they are more hard on you.
Except for you. I die.
Oh, no. You'll be better off when I'm gone.
You going? You going?
I was speaking to my thoughts.
Please tell me. Will you go?
I shall be driven to it, yes. To go away.
Tell me. Is the way as bad as here?
No. No, there's nothing as bad as here.
Can I meet you there?
Yes, you can, of course.
Can meet you there? Away? And I will find you in a way?
You would. And if you did, I would help you. haven't seen him since last night.
What? Have any of you seen him?
Please, sir.
Yes, what is it?
Please, sir. I think he's run away, sir.
Who said that?
Jennings, sir!
Ah, Jennings. So you think he's run away, do you?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
And what, sir? What reason have you to suspect any boy would want to run away from this establishment? Hey, sir, and you, Nickleby. Suppose you think he's run away as well.
I think it's highly likely, yes, sir.
You do, perhaps you know he's run away.
I do not, and I'm glad I do not, for it would have been my duty to have warned you, sir.
There's no doubt you've been devilishly sorry to do.
I should indeed, sir.
What's going on here? Where's Smike?
He's gone.
Gone! Gone! Well, then we'll have to find him, stupid! We must send to the roads. He hasn't any money. Any food. He'll have to beg. He must be on the public road. Come on!
That's true.
Oh. And when we find him...
And when we find him, I will only stop just short of flaying him alive.
It was with a heavy heart and many sad forebodings that Kate Nickleby left the city when its clocks yet wanted a quarter of an hour of 8, and threaded her way alone, amid the noise and bustle of the streets, towards the west end of London.
I tell you again, my soul, that if you're being odiously, damnably, and outrageously jealous, you'll make yourself most horrid miserable.
I am miserable. You flirted with her all night long.
No, no, my love.
I watched you all the time.
Oh, bless the little winking eye was on me all the time.
And I say, Mantalini, you won't hurt anyone but me again, and I'll take poison. I swear it now.
Take poison?
Yes.
You'll take damned poison on account of little Mantalini precious nerves.
I will.
He could have had the hands of a dowager and 2 countesses.
1 countess.
But who at the morning concert saw the damnedest little fascinator in the world? Meredith and fiddlesticks. In the world.
Mantalini.
Oh, my little cherub. I'm forgiven.
Well.
Come on, right here. Now tell me, Sapphire, how are we for cash? Well, there's a horse for sale down the scrubs for next to nothing, and if I can raise some discount for Ralph Nickleby, 100 guineas buys him. Mane, crest, legs, and tail, all the damnedest beauty. Oh, and then I can ride him in a park before the very chariots of the rejected countesses. Oh, my little pepper pot.
My Mantalini.
Well, what's this?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sent here by my uncle. I was sent for a situation.
And my dear, you shall have one. Ralph Nickleby?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was left here by your footman.
Oh, what a rascal is that footman, dear, to keep this sweet young creature waiting.
Well, my dear, I must say that that's your fault.
My fault, my joy.
Of course. What can you expect, dearest, if you will not correct the man?
Yes, true, indeed. He shall be horsewhipped.
Well, my dear, your uncle recommends you, and we are connected with him in commercial matters. Now, do you speak French?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I do.
But do you speak it like a native?
Simply, we have 20 young women constantly employed in this establishment.
And some of them damned handsome, too.
Of whom I am pleased to say, Mr. Mantalini knows nothing, as he's never in that room, as I will not allow it. Now, our hours are from 9 to 9 with extra publicity, for which there is a little payment, and I think your wages would be in the region of 5 to 7 shillings. Is that satisfactory?
Oh, yes, certainly.
Damned satisfactory.
You will pay no attention, please, to anything that Mr. Mantalini says. No, I will not, ma'am. Miss Nag!
Madame Angelini!
Miss Nag, this is the young person I spoke to you about.
Oh. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Il est mon plaisir de faire votre connaissance.
Oh, come on, Miss Morgan. Is there no work to be done?
I think for the present it would be better for Mr. Nickleby to stay in the showroom with you.
Showroom. Yes.
And try things on for people.
People. Yes.
She'll not be much use in any other way.
Way. No.
And her appearance
Will suit very well with mine. Well, yes, I see Miss Nickleby and I are very much a pair. Although I think I have a slightly smaller foot. Miss Nickleby will not, I am sure, be too much offended by me saying that. For our family has always been celebrated for its feet. The smallest of them, ever since the family had feet at all.
and I'll leave her with you.
Yes, do leave her with me, dear Madame Angelini.
Good morning, ladies.
Good day, Madame.
Good day, Madame Angelini.
Well, what a charming woman.
Yes, I'm sure she is.
And what a charming husband.
Is he?
You don't think so? Well, goodness gracious mercy. Where is your taste? And such a dashing man, with such a head of hair and teeth.
Well, perhaps I'm very foolish.
Well, I should say.
As my opinion is of little importance to him or anyone else, I think I shall keep it just the same.
You are too proud, Miss Nickleby.
I'm sorry.
We will break you of that.
Every boy here, every boy keep his place. Nickleby, to your place, sir. Moss, hold him. Now then, have you anything to say for yourself?
Oh, spare me, sir!
What's that?
Oh, spare me, sir!
Oh, is that it? Well, I'll flog you within an inch of your life. But I will spare your life.
He was driven to it, sir. Please forgive him.
Driven to it? Not his fault but mine.
Squares, that's good.
This must stop.
Who says stop?
I did. I said that it must stop, and stop it will. Sir, I have tried to intercede. I have begged forgiveness for the boy, but you have not listened. You have brought this on yourself.
Get out.
No, sir. I can't.
Can't? You can't me. Now out. And leave me to my work.
Who's that? Who's that? Hey, is that from school?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
What's the matter, afraid?
Well,
Hey, man, what's the matter with that face?
it's a cut, a blow, but I returned it to the giver, and with interest too.
Hey, did that?
Yes, for I have been the victim of considerable mistreatment, sir.
Hey.
And from the hands of Mr. Squeaks, but I have beaten him quite soundly, and I'm leaving here as a result.
Thou
What? I said I beat him.
Thou beat the schoolmaster?
Yes.
Well, how like?
Well, sir.
Give me that hand.
Give me my hand.
That's right, give me that hand. Thou beat the schoolmaster. Hey, man, where is thou going?
Well, to London.
Hast thou the way of cash?
I planned on walking, sir.
To walk to London. Look, man, thou needs cash. At least for food and such like. So, here's money.
Oh, sir, I couldn't possibly.
Thou couldn't possibly without. So come on, man. At least accept the sovereign.
Well,
And perhaps ceremonies of it. And send the surplus back, eh? Take this timber. I was working that for. Need that too.
sir, I do not know how I can begin to thank you. From the words that we had the other...
Beat the soul, master! I haven't had as good as that in 20 years. Now, go on. Be off with it.
To Mr. Ralph Nickleby, Golden Square, London. Sir, my Paul requests me to write to you. The doctors are considering it doubtful whether he will ever recover the use of his legs, which prevents him from holding a pen. We are in a state of mind beyond everything. In my cars, one mask of bruises both blue and green. When your nephew, whom you recommended as a teacher, had done this to my car and jumped upon his body with his feet and language I will not pollute my pen with describing. He assaulted my mother with dreadful violence and dashed her to the earth, driving her back home several inches into her head. A few more inches and it would have entered her skull. We have a medical certificate that if it had, it would have affected the brain. My brother and I were also victims of his fury. I'm screaming out loud all the time I write this, which takes my attention off grammar and hope will excuse mistakes. The monster, having satiated his thirst for blood, then ran away, taking with him a boy of desperate character who excited to rebellion. I remain yours, and Fanny Squares. Here! Someone at the door! P.S. I pity his ignorance and despise him.
Boy, I've come about a boy. The name's Brucker. I've come about a boy.
It's morning. Smile. 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 Why do you kneel to me?
To go. Go anywhere. Go everywhere. To the world's end. To the churchyard grave. I can. You'll let me come away with you. You are my home.
In that quarter of London where Golden Square is situated, there's a bygone, tumble-down old street. 2 rows of blackened, battered houses, at the top of one of which there's a meagre garret room. Newman Knox, the clerk to that great man of business, Ralph Nickleby, sat studying a letter written to his master that had arrived that very afternoon.
My poor request. 1 mask of bruises. Thirst for blood. Language I will not pollute my pen with describing. Oh dear. Oh dear. And Senator Fanny Squares.
Monster. Boy of desperate character. Tell me, has my uncle received this letter?
Yes.
Then I must go to him.
No, you mustn't.
Mustn't why?
Because he hasn't read it yet, and he's going away from town for 3 days.
Would do my sister and my mother know of this?
No.
Well, then I must go to them anyway.
Sir, you mustn't.
Mustn't why?
Because, be advised by me, your uncle, you do not know this man. And also,
Yes, and also?
you come home after just 3 weeks, no money, no position. What?
Mr. Knox, if I had stood by for 3 weeks or 3 days.
I know. But still, my dear young man, you mustn't give way to it. This sort of thing will never do, you know. If you take the part of everybody that's ill-treated, damn it, I'm proud of you. I would have done the same myself.
You're right, Mr. Knox. I have to find something to keep myself in shoe leather before I see them again. Yes. You don't even have a place to stay.
Tonight, you stay with me.
Mr. Knox, your kindness, unsurpassable. I have 3 friends. 3 friends in the whole world. That bluff young fellow in Yorkshire, smack yourself, and Mr. Knox, our benefactor. And it is enough. It is indeed. Oh, yes. That's fine. Sir Matthew Puck was seeking a young man of conscientiousness and character to fill the position of his secretary at the Palace of Westminster.
What's this?
It's me, sir.
Well, what the devil are you doing in here?
I wish to offer myself as your secretary.
That's all you came for here, is it?
Yes.
No connection with the paper?
No, sir.
And what might be your name?
Nicholas Nickleby.
Related to Ralph?
Yes, I am, sir.
So, you want to be my secretary, do you?
Yes.
So, what can you do?
Well, I presume whatever falls to the lot of other secretaries.
And what's that?
Well, I presume correspondence,
Go on.
the arrangement of papers and documents.
Very good. What else?
The general. To make myself as agreeable and as useful as I can.
Now that's all very well, young Mr. Nickleby.
Yes.
As far as it goes, but it don't go far enough. I should require, for example, to be crammed.
Crammed?
Yes, crammed. My secretary would need to make himself acquainted with all international and all domestic affairs, to scan the newspapers for paragraphs of passing or lasting interest, revolutions, wars, disturbances in Birmingham, on which I might found a speech or question. He would be required as well to study all the printed tables and to work up arguments against the dire consequence of a raise in tax, or else the terrible result of lowering them, of why we need to increase government expenditure or decrease it, of gold bullion, the supply of money, all those things it's very nice to talk about, you see, is no one really understands them. And that's just a hasty, basic outline of all your duties, except for waiting in the lobby every night, and sitting in the lobby, and pointing out to the general populace that that sleeping gentleman over there is none other than the renowned and celebrated Sir Matthew Pucker. Oh, and as for your salary, sir, I'd say at once, although it's much more than I usually give, about 15 shillings a week. So, any questions?
One question, sir. May I inquire, sir, while I am performing all of your duties, what will you be doing?
What?
I said, may I inquire, sir, while I am performing all of your duties, what will you be doing?
Get out. Get out at once! Now!
I'm sorry to have troubled you, sir.
vengeance. Mr. Squares has been assaulted. The boy goes with him. It's all true.
Oh, well, I don't know, I'm sure. Mamma! And I never would have thought it of it, certainly. Never would have. Your uncle is your Uncle Kate.
But what he says is still untrue.
Oh, you.
Nicholas, be calm and consider.
Consider what? Tell me what he said to you.
I've said, sir, what is true. You attacked your master and nearly killed him. And then you ran away.
I see. I interfered to save a miserable creature from the vilest cruelty. And in doing so, I did inflict punishment upon the wretch who was abusing me. And if the same scene was to repeat itself now, I'd take exactly the same part. Except I'd strike him heavier and much harder.
The penitent.
Nicholas, please, where is this boy now?
He's with me.
Will you restore him?
No, not to that man, not ever.
Oh, I don't know what to think.
Now you listen to a word or two.
No, say what you like, Uncle. I shan't take heed of it.
Then I won't speak to you, but to your mother. She may find it worth her while to hear what I have to say. For is that he, Nicholas, shall not have access to one penny of my money, no one crust of my bread, no one grasp of my hand that might save him from the gallows. I will not hear his name. I will not meet him. I will not help him nor anyone who helps him. And now he knows what he has brought on you by coming back. And as I will not ask you to renounce him, I must renounce you all.
Oh, no!
You needn't.
Needn't I?
Because I will go.
No, Nicholas, please don't say so. It'll break my heart. Oh, Mama, speak to him. Mama, don't let him go.
It is hard to be prescribed just like a criminal and be forced to leave the ones I love. Still, Kate, I must, or else you're destined.
No, you won't.
I must. This isn't over. You will hear from me. My darling girl. How far to Portsmouth, sir?
12 miles. Long miles.
Good road?
No, a bad one.
Well, we need to get to Portsmouth by tonight.
Well, don't let me influence you in any way. But if I were you, I wouldn't go.
You wouldn't, sir?
No.
It's obvious enough. We are both very humble, and we don't have any money to stay the night. But maybe if you had a little food.
What would you like?
Mutton chops?
No, sorry.
Cold meat?
Cleaned out.
An egg?
Yesterday, more than we could cope with. Tomorrow, mountains of them coming in.
Today?
No eggs today.
Yes, we are, sir.
Well, then you're with us. That's all. I want to see that Napoleon's fist. So what do you think of that, sir?
Oh, you mean the theatrical?
Yes, I'm paying Portsmouth from tonight. Yes, I am Vincent Travels, and I am in the theatrical profession. My wife is in the theatrical profession, and my children are in the theatrical profession. I once had a dog that lived and died in it from a puppy, and my horse goes on until all the Tartar.
This is most generous.
That's all. And I for talents, Mr.
Johnson.
Johnson, and yours struck me immediately.
Talent for what, sir?
Why, for the stage. There's genteel comedy, your awkward manner, juvenile tragedy, your eye and touch and go pass in your lap.
But, sir, I don't...
And as for associates, I've never seen a better for the starving business. Only let him be quite tolerably well just for the apothecary. Romeo and Juliet. The slug is red down on his nose, and he'll be guaranteed 3 rounds the moment he pops his head around the practical door.
Practicable?
Front group, sir. Oh, Can you write?
Well, I'm not illiterate, sir.
That could not be better. You write a piece for a week on Monday, if you'd be so kind.
Oh, but sir, I've never written anything before.
What stuff? Do you speak French?
Like a native, sir.
Then turn that into English, put your name on it, and there's the play. There's one more thing. I've just bought a real pump and 2 fine washing tubs. I got them cheap. You'll have to advertise them. You know, splendid tubs, a real pump. That sort of thing. You'll probably be writing up the bills yourself.
One question, sir.
Ask away.
Will I be paid for this?
Will you be paid? Will you be paid? Dear sir, with your own salary, your friends and royalties, you'll be paid £1 a week.
£1 a week?
At least. Here we are, boys. Portsmouth. For 3 weeks. All men have their towels, and this, boys, is ours.
It's ours!
Ah, Mrs. Holmes!
It's Who are these men so withered and so wild in their attire?
Mr. Johnson, please meet Mrs. Holmes.
Oh, so glad to meet you. So glad and overcome to welcome you. Provisionally. As a promising member in old wood. And this is Edward, an undernourished friend. You too are welcome here.
What's this? Better known to the your brother as the old wolf and all. Yes, capital, the ballet interlude, yes.
And attitude, and he loves her, and she loves him, and spin.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson! Mr. Blair! Please make Mr. Johnson Mr. Write up piece for Monday. And when we serve it back, Mr. Steady Romeo and Robert too. You might just roll it Sir, here they are, dues and all.
Oh, but sir,
Tommy, do the honors, do the honors.
Oh yes, this is Mr. Johnson, joined us suddenly this afternoon. Mr. Lenville, who does our first tragedy.
First tragedy?
Yes, the major tragic roles and such.
What's he trying to play then, Tommy?
Bits and pieces, Cassio and other things.
What other things?
Well, I've been asked
And writing a new piece as well.
Well, a new piece. Tell me about it.
Oh, well, the piece is based upon a fascinating French fable.
Come on. I mean, for me, something in the tragic and declamatory line.
But not too young.
Well, sir, there is a character who turns his wife and child out of doors, and in a fit of jealousy, stabs his eldest son in the library.
Oh, yes. That's very good.
After which, he is troubled with remorse up until the very last act. Then he decides to kill himself. But just as he, or you, are raising the pistol to your head, a clock strikes 10.
Yes, I see. Excellent.
You pause. You recollect to have heard a clock strike 10 in your infancy. The pistol falls from your hand. You burst into tears and become a virtuous and exemplary character forever afterwards.
Capital! Yes, sir. This will definitely serve. Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Oh.
I beg your pardon. But did you ever play in Canterbury?
No, never.
It's just I recollect me in a gentleman at Canterbury. Only for a few moments, but I was leading the company to join. So like you, I was
that I take notice of such things.
Oh, not at all. How can I be but flattered by your notice in any way?
All you men are such vain creatures, aren't you?
Genius, sir, genius! I'm thinking we'll bring out your new piece for her last week.
For what?
For her benefit, sir, when her friends and patrons we speak the play, sir. Just a half hour tomorrow morning. There's a little, what shall I call it? A little canvassing on these occasions.
Among the friends and the patrons?
Yes, just a half hour, drumming up support, calling on houses. New author, all the way from London.
Mr. Crummels, I don't think that I would like to do that.
Not even with the enfant, no?
No, sir.
Mr. Johnson says, surely you aren't going to be so cruel, so heartless. And after I've been looking forward for so long, Is there a problem with the canvas?
Yes, dear, Mr. Johnson seems to have objections.
What? Object? Oh, can it be possible? Oh, this Mr. Johnson, is it? With objections? This one took off the street, the highway, and presented with a chance that half of London would donate a vital limb for. Vincent, this is inconceivable. I am convinced that his sense of what is proper. Nay, chivalrous. Nay, once again, gallant. Oh, will so him into enlistment in this noble cause. Is this not so?
Mrs. Crummels, it is not my nature to resist any entreaty, unless to do something positively wrong. I know nobody here, no one knows me. So be it then. I yield.
Natalie! Confidence! Extravagance is they will go away.
All that. Oh, it's a nothing. Money will be made. If it don't get made enough, old Nickleby can stumble once again. Or else I'll cut his jugular from the ear.
Hush! Don't you see?
Oh. The dear Miss Nickleby, will I be damned? Well then, as I commanded and quite damnably admonished by my little backshatter, I'll withdraw. Oh, unless my little join would care to join her slave for breakfast.
Please don't alarm yourself, miss. Is this the millinery concern proprietary one, Mr. Montalini?
Yes. What do you want?
Yes, Mr. Tish, we have a large establishment. Please don't know yet, miss. I haven't yet presented you with my cat. My name is Scaly, and this is Mr. Tix. Perhaps you be so kind to present your governor with our presents. Thank you ever so.
Oh, I like the ceiling. Nice. Hi.
Isn't it?
A boy can grow up here. Grow up to be a man. That's all I'm do. And never bump his head on that.
Now that is very true. Good play, dear Tix.
And this here article was put together without outlay of considerable expense. No either. And a very pretty color.
Hey, what's the code?
Miss Montalini.
Madame.
Scaling, Mr. Tix. This is a writ of execution, and if not immediately convenient to settle, we shall set to work at once. Please, take an inventory. Oh, dear Tix, I do suspect that we better make a brisk commencement.
Dress one. Fetching shade of black.
Monsieur.
So what's the total, damn you?
1,527 pounds and 4 and 9 pence. Ethnic.
The heck they be damned.
Boy, oh me. And the 9 pence too. But with regard to the outstanding 1,527 pounds and 4 shillings,
Oh, my dear. Oh, my cup of happiness is sweet now. Oh, will you not talk to me for 2 minutes?
Don't you speak to me! You've ruined me, and that's enough.
What? Do not speak to you? Oh, it is too much! It is just too much! What'd you say?
I said that it was no one's fault, or if it was, as much mine as yours.
Oh, my little pepper pot. Damnation gravy boat.
Well now, young ladies, after all this wild excitement, shall we return and recommence our labors?
And return they did, but after half an hour their coroner's services would be immediately dispensed with.
The next day, Mr. Mantalini's name appeared among the list of bankrupts.
And on the third day, the young ladies will all be engaged.
I think you need not recommence your labors. I think you need not return.
In the next hour, stipulated for the canvassing of Miss Nettlely's friends and patrons, the first house to which they bent their steps was situated in a terrace of respectable appearance, where lodged the Curtis, to whose apartments they were instantly directed.
Now, Mrs. Girdle is well known to have quite the London taste in matters relating to the drama, and as to Mr. Girdle, he has written a pamphlet of 64 pages.
Proving that by altering the received mode of punctuation, any one of Shakespeare's plays could be made quite different, and the sense completely changed.
To be or not? To be that is the question.
Oh, yes, indeed, sir.
And dear Miss Nevelici, how do you do?
I am alighting well, dear Mrs. Girdle, and ventured to go for the purpose of whether you would put your name to my speak.
Oh, I don't know what to say.
Well, the play is new.
Oh yes, what is it?
A new one written by this gentleman, in which he will make his first appearance upon the stage.
I trust he has preserved the unities.
Well, sir, the piece is written in French originally. There is an abundance of incident, sprightly dialogue, well-fleshed three-dimensional characters, 2 tubs, a pump.
All unveiling pomp and all without the unities.
May I inquire, sir, as to what are the unities?
The unities?
Yes.
Sir, the unities are a completeness, a kind of universal dovetailedness, and oneness, and general warmth, and harmony, and tone.
And Mr. Girdle, I'm sure Mr. Johnson will preserve the unities. All 3 of them, most close. Now, may I put your names?
Well, I suppose we must accept it as our duty to the drama, even if 4 shillings.
Yes, that's right.
4 shillings for one more?
Yes, that's correct.
4 shillings for one play?
Well, with a lot of people in it, and it is long.
How long?
Very long.
What a damnation long time you have kept me ringing at this confounded old cracked tea kettle of a bell, every tinkle of which is enough to throw a strong man into blue convulsions.
More than once, my son.
Then you, my friend, are most indemnibly and outrageously deaf. Now where's Ralph Nickleby?
Might not be home. What purpose?
Purpose? It's to melt some dirty scraps of paper into bright and shining, clinkling, trinkling, damned mint sauce. Ah, Nickleby, you are at home.
Hey, one way.
You're looking well today. Could be quite jolly juvenile, damn it.
What do you want with me?
Damnation discount.
Money's scarce.
Damned scarce, or else I would have wanted it.
But as you're a friend, bills of exchange?
Yes, two. One for £40, one for 35.
So 75 in all. Names of the guarantors?
Right here. Careful.
Those cast iron, but they're safe enough. I'll give you 50 for them.
Only 50?
Yes.
Just a little bit more, as we are friends.
But this is business, Mr. Mantalini. And besides, you'll not get a better rate. So do you accept?
I must.
Well then, Mr. Mantalini.
There you are.
Oh, you.
Yes, me. Forgive us, Mr. Nickleby, this intrusion, which is attributable to the most gross and improper misbehavior of Mr. Mantalini.
What's this you're saying? Juice of pineapple?
I will not be ruined by your behavior any longer. Mr. Nickleby, I call you to witness what I'm going to say.
Pray do not ask me, ma'am. Settle it amongst yourselves.
Oh, settle it is what I plan to do. This morning you stole from my desk some bills belonging to the company without permission. Is that not the case?
It is, my precious. It is, my little Arthur Strudel. I'm the dumbest villain ever lived.
And, knowing of my debts and obligations caused by your extravagance, you will come here to change those bills of mine to cash. Do you deny it?
No, I cannot. Oh, I'll fill my pockets up with halfpennies and drown mice.
Well then, I tell you, Mr. Nickleby, Miss Nag once and for all that I will never supply this man's extravagance again. I have been his dupe and fool for long enough, and in future he may support himself if he can. He may spend all that he pleases on whom he likes, but it shall not be mine.
What are you saying, angel cakes?
I'm insisting on a separation.
Madam, you're not in earnest.
Oh, I am.
Consider, a married woman has no property. The company belongs to Mr. Mantalini.
Oh, no, sir, it does not. That company is bankrupt. But to say what little has been left of the furnishings and stock, I was obligated to call upon another party, who had, I'm pleased to say, sufficient capital to meet outstanding bills, re-employ the staff, and engage me as the manager of her new company.
New company? It's quite true, Mr. Nickleby. It's very true indeed.
This is a dream! A damned horrid dream!
You brought it on yourself.
Oh, has it come to this? Oh, I cut my heart into a damned extraordinary number of little pieces and given them away one after another to the same little engrossing captivator, and it's come to this.
It has. You know it has. I did. A long time. I did love that creature, Mr. Nickleby.
Oh, I'll drown myself! Nickleby, how can you sit there and watch such a cruel, brazen chickabiddy savaging the very heart?
Come, sir, you must put away these fooleries now.
You what?
And live by your own wits again.
But damn it, Nickleby, you'll help me, won't you?
No, I will not. Good day.
No, Nickleby, you know without me you knock out one brass ball.
Without you, sir, my credit would not have been needed, as you well know. Good day.
Well, damnation cruelty! It's over.
Love him. Love that. All love is cant and vanity.
Who calls so loud?
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man, I see the thou pour. Hold, there was 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison. Such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself. Do all the things that the life will take the main fall down.
Such mortal drugs I have.
But mantuous law.
But mantuous law is death to anyone who utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness, and fearest to die?
world is not thy friend nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty?
Kate, my dear.
But not my will.
Yes, Mamma, but not my will. Consent.
Kate, you are to dine. Dine with your uncle 6:30 tomorrow.
Uncle, what's this?
I have a party for some gentlemen with whom I'm connected with in some business. I'm not much used to parties, but such fooleries are often a part of business. Your mother's promised that you shall keep house for me, and I hope that you wouldn't mind obliging me.
Mind, my dear Kate. Tell your uncle that you wouldn't mind.
Well, of course I'd be glad to, Uncle, but I'm afraid you'll find me very awkward and embarrassed.
No. You come when you like. Take a hackney coach. I'll pay for it. Good night. God bless you.
Kate, your uncle has taken quite a fancy to you, that is clear. And if good fortune does not come to you from this, I shall be most surprised.
My poverty and not
My will.
consents. My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty, but not thy will.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
No.
Fool will come.
Lord Frederick, of course. I told him that the evening would be both an entertainment and a profit. Will it be?
Oh, yes. For the first, there will be, I think, an attraction. And for the second, I'm able to advance as much as he and you will need.
You're sure of that?
Yes, I'm prepared.
There is thy goal. Worse poison to men's souls. Doing more murder in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayst not sell. I sell thee poison. Thou hast sold me none. Farewell.
Act 3, Beginner's Orchestra.
Who calls so loud?
Who calls so loud?
Gentlemen, my niece, Miss Nickleby.
What the devil?
My niece, my lord. Kate. Lord Frederick Verysoft.
Well then, my ears did not deceive me, and it's not so excellent. How do you do, Miss Nickleby?
Now don't you leave me out now, Nickleby.
Nor me.
Mr. Pike and Mr. Buck.
Please, sir. Very please.
And Mr. Snow.
Miss Nickleby, forgive us. Let me sit you down. And as I'm left out, Daphne Nickleby, I'll do the opposite myself. Hawk, Miss Nickleby. And at your service.
Sir Mulberry Hawk.
An unexpected pleasure, Nickleby. Indeed, one might say, I'd almost want the addition of an extra 2.5%.
Oh, well, here is a poor Miss Nickleby who's doubtless bored to tears with all this talk of money and hoping that some gallant fellow will come make love to her. That's so, Miss Nickleby.
No, sir, indeed.
In fact, I'll hold you. I'll hold any of you 50 pounds if Miss Nickleby can't look me in the face and then deny that she was hoping so. My lord.
Well, why not? Done within a minute.
Now then, Mr. Snob, you will take the stakes and the time calls.
That's 50 pounds.
Please stop them from making me the subject of a bet.
Oh, my dear, it's done in a moment and there's nothing in it. If the gentleman insists...
Oh, no, I don't insist. That is, I don't insist that she denies. For even if I lose, it's worth it just to see her eyes, which seem to love the floor so much.
Well, that's true, Miss Nickleby. It's just too bad of you.
Oh, too cruel. Quite horrid cruel.
Sir Mulberry Hawk bets that the lady can't look him in the eye and deny. Within a minute. Very well. 6, 5, 4, 3,
2.
Now that is a girl of spirit, and we'll drink to her.
Oh, yes, we will.
Most definitely.
But now, perhaps since the sport is over, perhaps you'd care to drink it over dinner.
Certainly.
Yes, of course.
I'm sure Miss Nickleby will join us when she's had time to compose herself.
What's the delightful studiousness? Was it real now or only to display the eyelashes? Why did I speak and destroy such a pretty picture?
Please, sir, be silent.
Oh, upon my life, you mustn't treat me like this, dear Miss Nickleby. I'm such a slave of yours.
Sir, you must understand that your behavior, it's simply
Oh, come on now. Be more natural.
Sir!
More natural, please. Please, more natural.
Sir! What is it? Your way lies there, sir.
You know me, you madman.
Well?
Uncle, may I go now?
Yes. Yes, of course. I'll take you to your carriage presently. Before you go, one word. I did not know it would be like this. It was impossible for me to foresee it. You have done nothing wrong.
You want the Lord. Your pretty niece an entertainment for that drunken boy. And if he had come up here instead of me, you would have been a bit more blind and deaf and a deal less flourishing.
I tell you this, that if I brought her here as a matter of business...
Oh, yes, well, that is the word then, isn't it?
Because I thought that she would make an impression on that silly youth that you've been leading into ruin. I knew, knowing him, that he'd respect her sex and conduct himself as a gentleman. I did not envisage that she'd be subjected to the licentiousness of a hand like you. And so now we understand each other.
Especially, of course, as there was nothing you could gain by it.
Exactly so.
So there you are, the both of you. Are we not to dine and do some business?
Business first. 2 months to pay at 25%. Those are the terms. What sum had you in mind?
Oh, 5 or 10.
Say 10.
£10,000 then. I'll be with you very soon.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams do presage me some joyful news at hand. News from Verona? How fares Juliet? For nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, if nothing can be ill. Her body lies at Capel's monument, and her immortal heart with angels lives.
Oh! Then I defy you, stars! Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. Oh, mischief thou art swift to retain the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and here about to dwell, which late I noted, this should be the house. What how, apothecary?
Who called so loud?
As the door of the carriage was closed, a comb fell from Kate's hair close to her uncle's feet. And as he picked it up and returned it to her hand, a light from a neighboring lamp shone upon her face.
The lock of hair that had escaped and curled loosely over her brow, the traces of tears yet scarcely dry, the flushed cheek, the look of sorrow, on fire some dormant train of recollection in the old man's breast. And the face of his dead brother seemed present before him, with the look that he had worn on some occasion of boyish grief, of which every minute circumstance flashed upon his mind with the distinctness of a scene of yesterday.
And Ralph Nickleby, who was proof against all appeals of blood and kindred, who was steeled against every tale of sorrow and distress, reeled back into the house as a man who had seen a spirit from a world beyond the grave.
For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous? For fear of that I will stay with thee, with worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here will I lay up my everlasting rest. Here's to my love. Thus with the kiss, I die.
What's here? A cup.
presage death, but in an instant, it is past. What? Juliet?
Oh, Romeo, I do nothing. I drink a draught of fluid that happened the same benign effect. What's this? Who's that within? What's this? What who? Come, lights, come on, take looks. Look here, look home.
We are approached.
Good morning, noble prince.
What is it that is so sweet to love?
What fear is this which startles in our ears?
Ah, Romeo.
Oh, sister, that is slain.
What strange reversal hath this morning brought? With Romeo returned? Prepares that?
Not today. What? So much is stunned, for Romeo's blow deflected from my heart and did but a moment give the appearances and accoutrements of death.
As with my potion.
And the Poplin's draft.
What's this? The people cry of blackness of death!
You talk both of grief and joy on every breath.
Oh, Romeo.
Good heavens. Rosalind.
A blooming peace!
Oh, a blooming peace this morning, with it brings the sun for happiness shines. Go hence to have thoughts of happy things, all shall be pardoned and none be penitent. But there was a never story better set than this of Romeo and Juliet.